peace. 2 years. 2 years. 2 years. Wow. That'd be amazing. You could add Super Saiyan hair to the icon. Oh, that's good. Yeah, but I can't make it any bigger though, right? I can't make it like a very, like, the size that it is right now, that's the size that it's going to stay. So I can only, like, recolor it or add something very tiny within the dimensions of the hat itself. Steiner will turn this around. Yeah, that's what Brandenburg's thinking right now. Right, will Venice at least give me the money that I deserve? Come on. Yes. Okay, fantastic. Let's piece them out. Should allow me to pay off a loan. Very nice. We only have 10 left. And why am I not finishing this core? Oh, I am. Okay, that's nice. Also, Savoy. I've done something with you, like sent him again. No, I haven't. I thought I did. I might have to after the war, though. So let me get this Spanish diplomat out of there. More German RPing would be great. I'm already pushing the limits, I feel like. Now, we don't need Uckermark. How about we don't ask for that, and then we can ask for some cash. I do like money. This is 84%. I'm at 6% right now. We could do that. However, how close am I to... Oh yeah, Tech 23 is 12 years from now. So that's probably not going to happen. This is really expensive in the dip department, though. I wish I had influence ideas instead of espionage. Just a question. If you eradicate German culture and annex all of Germany, how will you force an AI to form Germany? There won't be any nations that has Germany as the primary culture. Ah, but there just happens to be a country that's Prussian culture right here. And we all know the potential Riga has. They can beat the best of players. So Riga's going to be our Germany. And they don't need this land to be German primary culture for that. I can just give them the land and then immediately start killing them. But first, let's focus on one medal at a time, right? One medal at a time. Shouldn't be buying down more exhaustion like this. Alright, now we can safely wait for Cleve to get sieged down. There is no more enemies that can really threaten us right now. So the only thing we really have to worry about is rebels. Bavarian separatists at 90%. Yeah, and then that's the last one. Well, apparently there's a rebellion here. That's not gonna fire. Let me just look at my rebellions here. No, I'll be fine. I'm just gonna park my units near the Bavarian border. I don't need to be paying for any of my forts, so we can stop doing that. However, I would like to keep paying for this one, that one, and that one. As the last thing I want is a British fleet appearing out of nowhere and sieging down all of India. Okay, we have ourselves a new Emperor. Not sure I mind, that's fine. A Dutchkavy related emote. Now, I'm not looking for emotes, I'm looking for sub-icons, so the things that that subscribers have before their name. The captain's hat. I need an upgraded version of that. I want that royal marriage back. My legitimacy is plummeting. The amount of these scores finished. Okay, February 1678. That's some more peace out cleave, because I would like to full annex them. I say that, but that's not really true now, is it? I could separate peace cleave. I take Berg. And take their money. How about I take Berg and Nassau and their cash. And that would leave me with 23 overextension. Now what we could do is just this. And we can probably take Cologne as well. No, that's 44% war score. So I'd have to do this. And then I'd be able to full annex them. Yeah. But in order for that to work, I'm gonna need to wait until February 1678. So we're gonna need to wait until then. And what happened to the Bavarians? Okay, we slaughtered the Bavarians. We can stop paying for the troops now. Save myself a wee bit of money. I'll pay somewhat, because I don't want to get caught off guard by something nasty. And we can probably raise up the speed a little bit. Why does the Empire still exist anyway? Because I never really got around to getting into a proper war against the Empire, and I've pretty much settled on the fact that these people are going to hate my guts anyway, so I let them live, because they weren't really an obstacle. They can be. If someone outside of the HRE gets elected, that would be a big no-no, big problem. But until that time, I don't need to worry about that. Also, are you part of this war or nah? No, he's part of the war. So what I could do is build up a spy network on France. Give us a French wake for 3 months and a stack wipe hat for 6. I don't know. You know, if you can move your capital to Asia after Erbkaisertum and still be elected HRE. You don't even need to wait for Erbkaisertum. If you become emperor and you form Tibet and thereby move your capital to does that move your capital? If you move your capital to Asia via decision, I'm not sure about Tibet, but suppose you form the Mughals and you move your capital to Delhi via decision, then you'll be the emperor in Asia, and the only one eligible would be Catholic countries in Asia, so you don't even need to do the Erbkaisertum thing. For your sub icons, that can have normal as beginner, bronze as... Oh yeah, they could color them bronze or gold. But if I color them bronze or gold, that's gonna mess up the color scheme, so... Asia makes you uneligible, but if... Really? Even if you already are the emperor, though? Okay, forming Tibet does move the capital. Okay. You can, by all means, be an Asian emperor. Maybe you do have to proclaim Erbkaisertum. I remember in previous patches, Rabbit Bunnies, he moved his capital to Asia. You know what you Netherlands people are like with your precious metals. I don't like this whole, this constantly appearing, because then I don't know if he's gonna land units in India, but I don't think Britain's gonna do anything. Yeah, and we're gonna need to do the double peace out here. That's really gonna piss off Savoy. I'm gonna go ahead and influence nation on him. Just to make sure we can keep him as an alliance for now. How about you add a great power outline? Oh! Oh, shit. That will be a good one. I could make an outline and make that bronze, silver, and gold. Yes! That's probably what we're gonna end up doing. Yeah. I like that. Subtle. It doesn't mess up the color scheme and you can see everything still. I think that's good. Yeah. Yep. I'm happy with that. Da, 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 da. Da, da, ba, 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 da, da. Okay, that's fine. In fact, that's fantastic. Okay, so the truce with the coalition ends in January. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping they'll declare war really rather quickly. Preferably before I peace out. That'd be amazing. In fact, I might want to leave things be until they do. Because if I peace these out, my diplomatic reputation is going to go down the drain. Which is going to make it more difficult for the others to accept my call to arms. I did not see that coming. Time to pay for the troops and get rid of that. Frickelson, thank you for subscribing. Tip my hat off to you, sir. Why would anyone want to go Celestial and get those crappy nerfs? We don't know if that still even applies. And other than that, I think there's going to be very nice modifiers for being the Emperor of China now, because, well, you can declare war for it, so, you know, why would you want to declare war for something negative? So I think there's lots of positive modifiers that you can get. Aside from that, you'll be able to get the thingy, you know? Okay, there you go. Everybody joined, perfect. They declared war before we peaced out. That is ideal. We're gonna peace them out immediately. Now, I could offer to give them 10k and they, you know, fuck off. What I can also do, certainly I'd like to give Wallace back to the Swiss. Yup. And I'd also like to give some land back to the Timurids here. And there you go. I'm sorry, Coalition, but you'll be killing me not today. Sweet. Alright, so now we can piece out these. I need 2 diplomats for that, so let me just get these off. Florryworry, just spell my name. F-R-K-K-C-S-L-N. And I tip my hat to you. F-R-K-Lesson. KKC. French KKC. Eslen. I honestly don't know. Can't you tell me in phonetics? If you tell me in phonetics, I promise I'll say it correctly. Alright, so now we're gonna do a nice fancy exploit. We are going to double peace out cleave. If you haven't seen the double peace out exploit, here's how it works. We're selecting 2 provinces from cleave, and we're going to send demand. Now you can't send 2 peace deals on the same day. You can't even open a peace deal with someone, but if you right-click the peace deal option, you can either right-click the war shield here, or you can open up this button, because these are paths that aren't closed. But you can just right-click this guy, open up a new peace deal, and now if you let a day pass, you can select Nassau. You can still select provinces if you had them occupied previously. Now this only works for a day. This only works for a day, but it does work, so there you go. And now we can ask him for money and perhaps make him do some of this. Get a little bit extra prestige. This is all well and good. And now he sent this offer. And now we occupy all of Cleve. Very nice. I like. Oh, let me just get rid of that. And we were just barely able to afford that. But afford it we did. So, next truce is over in 1 year to the date. A little bit less than 1 year. So, Aussie, Patazi, who did you ally? Brandy Wandies, Swissy Dissy, Nurembergy, Bergy, and Genoa. Now, they're allied with Hungary, which might be seen as a problem. However, Hungary owns a province in the South German group, which this is Istria is part of South Germany. So we are going to need to fight them regardless. Now, I wouldn't want to actually fight these because, well, I'm just going to separate peace them and ask them for Istria. That's fine. So, who would we end up fighting? We'd end up fighting Aussie Patazi, Brandy Wandy, Swissy Dissy, Nurembergy Wergy, and Genoa. I would like it if Savoy joined that. And speaking of Savoy, I really need to get a diplomat over here because this is not that hot. Now, that is going to bring in Bohemia, who is allied with Alsace. Alsace, okay. That's fine. I can't actually reach Alsace. No, I can't vassalize them or anything. I do need Alsace. Kinda need Lorraine too. I don't actually need Lorraine, but I kinda need Lorraine. I mean, what's Germany without Alsace-Lorraine, right? Nah. Fuck it. Fuck it. Actually, I can reach this. Yeah, I can reach this. If I declare war on Aussie Patazi, and, yeah, Switzerland would join. So then if you could take St. Gallen and Zurich, we could ask for Alsace in a peace deal. That would work. Allied with France. Oh god. Alsace is part of France. Learn history. What to say about that? What to even say about that? Okay, I don't need to pay for my troops. I would like to know where it is unrest and fix that. Yeah, I could do the trade. I'm just gonna do this. Just leave me be. And we're not gonna be paying for our troops. Making hella dockets. That's fine. I do need to pay for my navy. And what I'd also like to do is keep converting things. Also, I don't need to pay for these forts. So let's not do any of that. So, April, and then we fight... Okay, so we fight Austria, together with Hungary, Brandenburg, Switzerland, and Bohemia. Which is once again going to bring in Great Britain. Let me just reorganize my armies here for a bit. See what kind of meat we have on the table. Or in the bathtub, as we say in the Netherlands. Such a stupid way of saying things. Let's check what kind of meat we have in the bathtub. That's a legit Dutch expression right there. Let's see what kind of meat we have in the bathtub. Who puts meat in a bathtub? I mean, really? Who puts meat in a bathtub? I tell you who, the Dutch. They put meat in a bathtub. Alright, let me just sometimes I don't know what came into my countrymen when they made our language. With the sayings and everything. See things through the fingers. Let's check what meat we have in the bathtub. Well, if he thinks he's gonna win that, he's gonna come home from a cold carnival. Like, what the fuck? He is paying for these forts. I'd like to blitzkrieg this. Yeah, I'd very much like to blitzkrieg this. It's easier said than done, though. Nah, let's stack with the Bohemians, and then we'll go deal with us. I think that's better. And it looks like we're gonna need a handful of extra mercs. I'll just build up the force on me. Can you say bathtub? Well, they don't say bathtub, they say gaup, which you can translate as bathtub. But in Dutch, bathtub would be badkuip. And then the expression goes... Kijken wat voor vlees wij in de kuip hebben. Pull your head out of the toilet and get that meat in the bathtub. No. No, it's not pull your head off the... It's not pull your head out of the toilet. It's... Are you completely pulled from the toilet? Is the saying. And it means, are you completely insane? Which I suppose... That one makes sense, though. Because if you're pulled from the toilet... I mean, I reckon you'd be pretty upset and pretty crazy if that happens to you. Like, imagine taking a dump and then suddenly being pulled off of the toilet. I mean, come on. Anybody would go insane about that. So truce ends in April. It's January, so it's time to raise maintenance. And the deficit is incredible at the first month or so. Because, of course, we've got tons of reinforcement that's needed after getting shoved into one army. And let's pay for all of our forts. I don't need to worry about Austria joining the coalition because there's, I've got truces with literally everyone, so I don't even need to declare immediately. But and see, it ended in March, which is weird. All right, so we could declare this war. We could even call in Savoy, which is very useful. Can't set anyone as co-belligerents, of course. Bohemia joins. We're still breaking truce if we do this. Yeah, we're still breaking truce, so the game totally lied. So did Bohemia get any new allies? Nope. Still just Great Britain and Thingy-Boggles. Now we will call in Savoy here. And you know what? I might give Savoy some Genoese land. Sure, why not? I don't have to pay dip for it, and it's going to give me some land that I can release later. So that's fine. Sure. Flurry, I'm watching this run from YouTube. I don't want to get so much spoilers, but can you please tell me how did I settle to Germany? I conquered some bits and pieces from the Ottomans. And then, you know, I conquered a bit more from the Ottomans, and I was able to fabricate on Venice. So I got Friuli from Venice, and then I just, you know, invaded Germany. Which was all rather difficult because I couldn't see this, so I couldn't actually sail over for a long time. I had to steal maps from Portugal to be able to see the sea and actually sail over. Hey, this is fine. We're going to declare this war. Just boom. Shit, I just realized something. We're going to get into a huge problem here because we'll be at war with Brandy. And I still have... No. These cores should all finish. Yeah. Right, let's stack wipe that. Let's stack wipe that shit. We're going to stack wipe you, stack wipe that. And we are moving all of our armies. Let's play this on speed 2 for now because I don't want to make any nasty mistakes. And we're moving a lot of different armies in a lot of different directions. So I don't want to mess things up. Right, that's Hoya taken care of. We're going to go straight for Magdy Wagdy Bagdy Bear. This should be a wipe. This is not going to be a wipe, but he's marching into me. Which is certainly to our advantage. That morale difference, though. Look at that. Oh, so nice. Well, I said it wasn't going to be a wipe, but now I'm not so sure. Nuremberg certainly was a wipe. Leave some guys behind and move straight into Elsass if we can. And Brandy is weakened to the point where I don't want to separate piece him for land. If I do that, I have to pay a lot of dip. So I'm just going to white piece Brandy. Unless they get an ally... Well, no, they don't have an ally that I'll particularly care about. So I'm just going to white piece Brandy. So I can declare war on them sooner. Am I at war with all of the elect? No. Not by a long shot. And I can't until I piece out Bohemia. Now, I'm not going to full annex Bohemia here. I might cancel their alliance with Great Britain, because that's annoying as hell. But I'm not going to full annex them. If I do that, there's going to be a new emperor, and it might just be freaking the Commonwealth. Now, I can check who's going to be the emperor, but since Bohemia is one of the electors, that's going to skew up the numbers. So I'd have to, check this. So, okay, second would be Elsass, and then, okay, the second would be Elsass. Second would be Elsass. Second would be great. You know, it's so... We're not doing that. Bohemia is a good emperor to have because they're really weak. Now, the fourth tier is a little bit problematic. And also, Tomato Pax! Thank you for subscribing. I tip my hat off to you, sir. Alright, let's leave a dude behind here. And preferably get a sieging stack on top of Magdeburg. Because I don't want to white piece the Brandenburgians in a relatively timely fashion. Papal Japan. Well, if you could reform Japan, then great. But you can't reform Japan if you're not a. The decision to form Japan, you have to be a daimyo for that. So if you could theoretically form Japan as the Pope, get Japanese ideas, then form Prussia, be Hindu, Manchu culture, and do all the other things, you could get up to 75% discipline on your banner units in the next batch. And so you would only take 25% damage. whilst dealing 75% more, which is insanity. Those would be some real Space Marines. But you can't reform Japan, although patches are patches, and patches, well, let's just say things could change.